You want Philly?
Yeah, let's do it.
It's easy to sum it up. We're talking about practice.
Because it's about as casual as it gets. What's the problem now?
That's a clown question, bro.
I think we ought to send a beating at least.
World champions!
Start playing with some jam in here. Let's go.
Philadelphia, looking as only you can look. Woo!
Here we go.
And good evening, everybody. My name is Eric Perugini. I am here, as always, with Chris Lahiff, and this is another edition of the Philly podcast, proudly presented by SixPackCoverage.com, La Terrain Watches, and themonkeysuncle.net. And on tonight's episode, we're going to recap the Philadelphia Eagles draft and discuss some other things NFL related, about the draft. But this is what we're going to be up to tonight. And Chris, how are you, pal?
You sound staticky.
I sound staticky.
Yeah, I don't know if it's your whatever. But sounds a little staticky on your end. But yeah, we're here to talk about, obviously the draft last week for the Eagles, and everything that, the grades that we give. But before we do that, I want to address the comments that were made by Ryan Tannehill. Like, relax. He isn't the first quarterback or athlete to say this. Kurt Warner said it. Brett Favre said it. Problem is, social media wasn't as big as it is now, and I'm okay with it. Like, too many people are getting in their feelings over a guy not wanting to lose his job. And let's recap that. Ryan Tannehill, while he may be not that great of a player, he was a first-round pick. Malik Wells fell to the third round. And there's a reason he fell to the third round. I don't know what it is. I don't work for the NFL, so they saw something. I don't know what it was. But what are your thoughts?
One, how do I sound now?
Still staticky, but it is what it is. It goes in and out.
Well, after I get done talking, I'll switch over to something different. But
okay.
Anyway, no, I mean it's ridiculous to get mad at Ryan Tannehill. He's an athlete. His job is to compete. Right now, he is the starting quarterback for a football team, and his job is to continue to be a starting quarterback for an NFL team. He shouldn't have to mentor anybody. Have fun talking to the guy or whatever on the sidelines. Be friendly with him, whatever. But you know why they drafted that player. You know why he's there. So, now, excuse me. If I was him, I'm not trying to be, this is what you have to do. Find out on your own, kid. I'm doing my thing to continue to make the money I'm making. You want to get to that level? Outplay me. That's exactly how it goes. I have no problem with what Ryan Tannehill said. And for the people that do have a problem, grow up. just flat out grow up. That's all I can say.
To put it bluntly.
Yeah. All right, now I'll let you go. I'm going to get off here for a second and see if I can do something about it.
Okay. Yeah. So, people want to sit there and get all in their feelings. You had the safety from the Saints basically say, I hope that Tannehill loses his job. What does that say about you as a person? Like, you're actively rooting against the guy. Ryan Tannehill isn't a coach. He's going to help him with the playbook, but he's got to learn the game himself. Game just doesn't come to you like that. Like, that's not how sports goes. So for the safety, I think it was Johnson from the Saints, to say something like that, a little ignorant, in my opinion. I could be wrong. I just think that there's a better way to go about it than to sit there and say, I hope he loses his job. Well, now you just sound like a dickbag. by saying that. So I don't know what you want from Ryan Tannehill. Do you want him to come up and mentor him? Ryan Tannehill, like he got drafted. Like Ryan Tannehill, he's the starting quarterback on Tennessee. He's 33 years old. It's not like he got drafted. It's not like the guy got drafted to Tampa Bay, and Tom Brady is. I got to assume the guy is eventually going to retire. I don't know when, but he's essentially got to retire. He's 45 years old. You would think he's going to retire, but Ryan Tannehill's 33 years old. I have zero issues with what Tannehill said, and anybody who says otherwise, get over yourself. And he's back.
I agree.
So much better.
There you go. Yeah, I don't know what the deal was. I went from my regular headphones. I had to go to my Bluetooth. So all it matters, it works.
So, but Ric Flair never retired, and he's the GOAT. So,
right.
But so I just wanted to get that off of my with the whole Ryan Tannehill is, he's a jerk. He's not a jerk. Brett Favre did the same thing. Kurt Warner did the same thing. So relax yourselves. You're holier than thou, as William Anthony would say, you dipshits.
Very true. Very true.
So let's talk Eagles draft.
Yes. Shall we?
What a terrible. It was a terrible draft. I don't know about you, but I think it sucked. I think they could have did so much better with what they got. I think they took all those players way too early. It's just. Oh wait, no, sorry. That's what everyone else said.
I was just gonna say, we watched the same draft, correct? These people, they find a way to just complain. They found a way to just complain because for whatever reason, they just don't like Howie Roseman and they refuse to give the guy credit. He had one of the best drafts he's ever had as a general manager or whatever you want to call it. He is, or at the time was, for the Eagles. This was legit, probably one of his best drafts.
So you're absolutely right. And what's funny is we all thought that. I mean, we all basically we knew that we assumed that they were drafting defense and defense. That's what I thought they were doing. Bill had mentioned on their one show that it was Bill he was taking a defensive tackle, and then they were drafting a wide receiver, which I wasn't really impressed with any wide receivers. I mean, there were some good ones, but you drafted Jordan Davis, and go back and watch the championship game. The dude got triple teamed by Nick Saban.
Yeah.
A Nick Saban led Alabama team, who's, Nick Saban's generally has a great offensive line, a great defensive line, and their wide receiver university. So for you to sit there and say that it was a bad pick, that he's lazy, he's this, he's that, you don't know. Now, my green screen isn't working for some reason, Darth Pooh. I don't know why. I wish I knew. But something's wrong with StreamYard because they're not letting me do it. I had it up and then it went down. So, but Jordan Davis, and then you turn around, and I know you traded up, you switched spots, and then you traded like a third and then 2 fifths, and we're talking about draft capital. It's a 5th round pick. Like there's not many, as William said, there's not many 5th round picks that are good.
Yeah, and this was why you traded and acquired all this draft capital, so you could go and make a move. So yeah, that's let's see, these these damn comments are killing me because I'm trying to freaking concentrate. Yeah, go ahead. I just lost what I was saying.
Because you were just talking about the people complaining about Jordan Davis. He's this, he's that. Guy hasn't even played it down in NFL football, and we're calling him lazy. Like,
Well, there's also saying that he's overweight. Overweight. He's a defensive tackle. He's only a run stopper. Oh, okay. Well, guess what?
okay, there's good running backs in the NFC East. Okay,
I mean, there really are. Like teams do run the football. Okay, and he's going. Okay, so he starts out and he's a run stopper. Big friggin' deal. At any point, I mean, just look at their defensive line at the moment. Okay, with the way they rotate their players. I mean, there's conceivable going to be times where you have Fletcher Cox and Davis out there. Are going to be out there at the same time along with Brandon Graham. Like they're going to have this is going to be one of their better defensive lines. And I'm happy with it. I don't need this kid to become Reggie White just because he was a first-round pick. I just need this kid to be out there, perform, and like you said, you brought up the kid was triple teamed in the championship game. If he's triple teamed, then who's not being covered on that line? Who's not? What edge isn't being covered? What linebacker can get through for a sack if they decide to go to blitz? The possibilities are endless with a player like Davis on that team, and that's what I'm excited for. See, people just got caught up in the whole safety talk. That's all it is. They focus in on one thing and that's it. Like
no, and you're right. They got focused in on Kyle Hamilton. So we have you got Kyle Hamilton going to the Ravens, which whatever, that's fine. Like it is what it is. But Jordan Davis was going to go to the Ravens or the Eagles. Yeah. And I feel like the Ravens are a pretty good down defensive unit all the time, so they know what they were doing. But so we have that. Then they turn around and they trade for A.J. Brown. I mean, I don't know what the hell else you could ask for. You traded a first and a third, and you paid this guy $3 million more than Christian Kirk, and he's a legitimate number one.
Yeah.
And we said prior to the draft, and we said during free agency on our shows, that they made no big splash to get, that receiver, that explosive type for Jalen Hurts, because, they didn't have any faith in him. Do they still have faith in him? I don't know, but they got a guy who's $3 million against the salary cap this year. And then they have him for another 4 years. So, well, what else do you want done? Like, it's not David Putney. I know it's not David Putney, but it's, how he went out and he made the moves. So now A.J. Brown, has, he went from Ryan Tannehill to Jalen Hurts. Ryan Tannehill doesn't have the strongest arm, but he doesn't have a bad arm. We know what Jalen Hurts' arm is. But if Jalen Hurts can thread that needle and get it into spots, and just drop it over a 20-yard gain, A.J. Brown could do a lot of damage with the yards after catch. Something that Zach Ertz never could. Zach caught the ball after 10 yards and went down. I feel like, and it's fine, and there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, the year he broke the record for most catches by a tight end, he had over 1,000 yards because he averaged 11 yards a catch. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But with A.J. Brown, he's a physical receiver. He's a big receiver. And putting him over there with Devontae Smith, yeah, it should be a fun season. I go back to, 30 passing touchdowns for Jalen Hurts should not be out of the realm with Devontae Smith, with Dallas Goedert, with A.J. Brown, with the GOAT Jalen Reagor and Greg Ward. Like these, obviously don't kidding about Jalen Rager. Greg Ward's going to see playing time because that guy always he's always on the field. I feel like Greg Ward's always on the field. I don't know how. And he's always making like 1 or 2 catches a year. And it's usually like at the time, the biggest catch of the season. I don't know how he does it, but he does it. And it just annoys the shit out of me. So you got AJ Brown. So obviously you like that draft pick or that trade. I like that trade. Clearly I had posted the live reaction. We edited the video and posted the live reaction. So I don't know if I want Hurts to be McNabb. Back when McNabb played, it was a different era. Like McNabb was so much stronger and bigger than some of these players, and Jalen Hurts he's nowhere near the size McNabb was. Like McNabb was a freak. Like he wasn't Dante Culpepper, but he was a freak. Yeah, Ward is Freddie Mitchell. He really is. At least we got rid of Freddie Mitchell after 4 seasons. I like Freddie, and I was only a little. I liked a little Freddie Mitchell. He didn't with his championship belt move. 4th and 26. He threw the touchdown on Monday Night Football against the Dolphins. He had he clearly yard catch against the Monday Night Football. So Freddie Mitchell has like 4 good plays in his career, and they were memorable plays. We talk about it. So obviously we did a 3-hour show on the first night of the draft that Thursday, which was phenomenal. We got all the live reactions. We got all the live tweets. You were on top of your game. You announced the trade. You announced the pick before it was on TV. You were able to get through. And then, we went to the second night, and we just basically did it. And I think we started maybe it was the middle of the second round, the end of the third round, or closer to the end of the second round. But it was 2 hours, and we're sitting there, and all day, an hour, 50 minutes. Malik Wells has to go here. Like the Giants have to draft Nakobe Dean. The Saints got to do this. And the only thing that happened and while we were on the air was Nakobe Dean went to the Eagles, which is bananas because that's who I thought they were going to draft at 15 and 18.
I mean, the fact that they got him in the 3rd round, I absolutely love it. He is one of those guys that, and again, another Georgia player. He's just one of these guys that can change the game, and the fact that I do believe that they got this guy late, and they drafted the linebackers because of Gio the podcaster when he called out Howie Roseman on national TV. Then please, for the love of God, get us a linebacker, and he goes and does it. Now, yeah, does the guy have some red flags? He does, all because of his medicals, which seems to be the reason why Nakobe Dean fell to the Eagles at 83rd overall. Good. I didn't. The more he was falling, I kept thinking to myself, is this going to be another situation like back in the day with Warren Sapp? People didn't want to go near him because of marijuana. Oh my God, the worst thing ever. Can't believe he smokes marijuana. And Eagles passed on him, and look at the career that guy had. So the man's now a Hall of Famer. And I'm not saying that Nakobe Dean's going to be a Hall of Famer. I'm just saying, I'm glad that they went against the traditional thought process. I mean, they waited and waited, and I think where they got him, I don't think he would have lasted that much longer. Because for a long time, he was the number 1 player on the board, on everyone's big board. Like all the so-called experts, they're all like, "What's going on with Nakobe Dean?" And I'm just glad that the Eagles decided to take the plunge on him and take him. I'm excited for that because their linebacking core now is completely revamped. I mean, completely revamped. And I love it.
So, it's funny you bring up the weed.
Stay off the weed.
the whole thing with the weed. So
Yeah.
I got a little something.
My name is Thurgood. Hi. Hi. I'm here today because I'm addicted to marijuana.
You ain't get up marijuana? Marijuana? Man, this is some bullshit.
Marijuana is not a drug. I used to suck dick for coke.
I seen them.
That's an addiction, man. You ever suck some dick for marijuana?
Huh?
No, I can't say I have.
Rest in peace, Bob Saget.
Oh, boo this man. So I just think it's funny that you brought up Warren Sapp. And like you said, Warren Sapp's a Hall of Famer. He won the Super Bowl, multiple All-Pros, multiple first-team defenses. Guy was a maniac on the field. So, I liked it. So I'm actually surprised that Darth Pooh isn't commenting because we text each other that every now and then just out of nowhere. That scene. Boo this man!
I just like during it, after Saget says, he used to suck dick for coke. Off screen, here's the guy. I seen
it. Yeah, he's like, I seen him. I'm like, whoa, wait, what happened here?
What do you mean you seen him, buddy? Boo this man! Love that movie.
So, yeah, Half Baked's always a good movie. So, and then in the fifth round, which the sixth round they drafted Kyron Johnson. Is that his name?
Yeah, Kyron Johnson. Yes.
Yeah, Kyron Johnson, linebacker from Kansas. You know what I noticed? We'll get back to Kyron is there was a lot of Kentucky players drafted from the NCAA, and you don't think of when you think of football, you don't think Kentucky. And there were a lot of players drafted in the first 3 rounds.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, no. We made the comments before, during the draft show about how, Georgia is the defensive capital or the defensive mecca of college football in the United States. Dude, I don't care if the Eagles drafted every single position a Georgia player. That guy's going to be good. They're just going to be good. But yeah, that was there was a lot of Kentucky players drafted. You're right.
So Kyron Johnson was drafted. His grade at 1 out of 10 was like a 5.89, but it's a 6th round. He was a 5-year starter because I think he was redshirted. I'm sorry, he was a 3-year starter, but he missed 1 season and he was redshirted. So, you say he's good and he can play through contact. He doesn't stop. And, one of his attributes was tight ends don't outwork him. And I feel like that was like a big, I always feel like one of the tight ends from Dallas was always open somehow. The tight ends from the Washington Redskins, I'm not calling them that other team name. And the Giants, the Giants are the Giants, but I think the Giants had one of the best drafts in a while. So, but I'm not here to praise the Giants, so Giants can go to hell.
That's good.
But obviously, when you have his attributes, you have what else, his weaknesses as they say, like he over pursues, like he overflows that pursuit. Cutbacks are easy, so that could hurt him in the running backs, cutting. But again, you have Hassan Reddick back there. You have Nakobe Dean back there. You have Jordan Davis up front. Like these guys, there's going to be plays to be made. And this guy's a 6th round pick. I don't know if he's going to be on the team. I don't know if he's going to be on the team. We don't know. He probably isn't, but he's a 6th round pick. And by the way, Jordan Davis signed his contract today, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
Was it?
Yeah.
Was he the only one, or were there other players?
For the Eagles, I believe he was the only one today. But there's other players around the league have started signing their rookie contracts. So it was usually this is about the right time frame. Guys get into town. They get to see the sights and stuff like that. They wine them, dine them, and everything. But yeah, I believe his deal is it's a fully guaranteed contract too.
And how about the Phillies? They just lost it. They just got swept by the lowly Texas Rangers, scoring a total, I think, of like 3 runs, and they got put 7 up on the first place Mets right now with Aaron Nola dealing. Like, baseball's such a funny game.
I don't ever want to hear anyone say Aaron Nola dealing.
No, right now he is. I mean, right now he is. His next start, he'll give up 17 runs.
That's awesome.
So,
yeah,
but like baseball's just a funny game. I'm just looking at their retro uniforms, which I love. So yeah. Again, we don't know what this kid's going to be. He's not going to be an All-Pro, and if he is, God bless him. God bless Howie Roseman. I mean, it's insane. So, and then obviously they made trades, and then they ended up drafting a tight end from SMU.
Yeah, I was intrigued by that pick.
So
I did not expect them to go out and get a tight end.
I mean, what are you going to keep signing Sam Perkins or whatever his name is?
No, I'm just saying, I just wasn't expecting that. I just really wasn't. But then again, I shouldn't be too surprised. I mean, they made the splash for the wide receiver. I thought that they were going to shock everybody and take a running back a little higher up. I really did. I was thinking, because in the back of my mind, I'm thinking Sanders is on the last year of his deal. This is the prime time. This is the prime draft to draft the possible replacement.
Yeah, but not in the 6th round. I don't know who you're getting. He ran a 4.6 for a tight end.
Oh yeah, he had good 40 time. I mean, he seems like he's he's got the NFL look. He's got the NFL build. So I mean, you never know what's going to happen with these guys. To me, tight ends are so iffy anymore.
Funny story. My boss at my job is friends with his dad.
Oh really?
Yeah, he texted me. It was like Eagles great draft and Grant Calcaterra. I think I'm not even sure. He's like, I used to work with his dad in the 80s. I was like, what? Oh, that's awesome. So his grade was a 5.9, and that's he's a special teamer. He's a backup, and that's good.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I mean, it's real good. So, like I said, I was a little surprised at the pick, but I liked it at the same time. It does help, and I was like, okay. So we'll just have to see what happens when the kid gets on the field.
So, funny story about him. He went to Oklahoma.
Right.
He retired due to concussions.
Okay.
Then then he was about to start a job as an EMT in California, and all his CAT scans and concussion tests came back, and he was cleared to play, and he went to MSU, and the rest is history.
Nice.
He had 38 catches for 465 yards and 4 touchdowns.
Yeah, so I'll take that out of a backup. I'll take that all day long.
Yeah, like the story is great about him. He's gonna be he was an EMT. He was also studying to be a firefighter. So the guy's got character. Like you can just tell by that. So he has that going for you. It's always good to have character guys on your team. I know it's an overused statement, but it never hurts.
Right.
So we have that, and then that was really it. Our draft. I mean, we actually did a lot of our draft stuff that night. It was a long night. I was tired.
Yeah, I was too.
I ran out in the middle and went to Denny's and got chicken nuggets for adults.
Yeah, dude, like I remember like just doing that show, and I'm like, wow, this is awesome. This is the first time doing this, and I thought to myself, how the hell are these guys? And I mean, like, don't get me wrong, everyone says, oh, well, they're getting paid to do it. No, that's not it. How do these guys sit there from like 7 o'clock in the morning, sit there and just talk football, and then and they're good all day. Like I do it now, where I repeat myself and I stumble and stammer on things, and these guys just go flowing through the whole day like nothing. And I mean, I guess that's why that they do what they do, and I'm doing this, and during the day I pack boxes and ship them out to other warehouses. I mean,
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
I love talking sports. This is a passion of mine. I would love to be able to get paid to do something like this full time, but my God, just being on the same playing field as those guys for that day, for like all these professionals, I couldn't wait to go to bed. And we didn't have to do night two or day two and day three. These guys do that. Almost, oh God.
We also got to remember they were also 3 hours behind us. So when it was like 11:30 our time, it was 8:30 their time. All right, real quick, we're gonna go to commercial and we'll come up and then we'll finish out our show. There we go.
They say every watch tells a story. Family, moments, lifetimes. With La Touraine, this is a watch that spans generations, not just from where it came from, but for where it will go. Knowing one of these, having one of these, is what being a professional, being casual, and being you is all about. From our family to yours, La Touraine.
Thank you, La Touraine watches once again.
So I mean,
now,
go ahead.
go ahead. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
No. Well, I do want to give a shout out. We had talked about this earlier. We joined Six Pack in December. We're the #1 Eagles podcast for Six Pack. Hit us up on Twitter, follow us at TikTok. But for the last 4 weeks, we've been the #1 football show for Six Pack. We've been #1 Eagles show since we signed on. And the only show that beats us out is a hockey show, and that it was the ECHL, which I watched some of their videos. They're pretty cool. But thanks to everybody for watching, listening, commenting. Like, it is greatly appreciative, even if there are the trolls out there who don't like the one at the Kyle Hamilton over to Jordan Davis, who didn't like, doesn't like Devontae Smith. Like, as much as you troll, we do appreciate it because, you make us laugh or you make me angry. There was times last week where I was like, what the hell is wrong with you people? Why are you complaining? It's a good pick. It's a good trade. See me in 3 years if these guys don't pan out. So, but you have any thoughts?
No, I just wanted to say, it's like another pick, which I don't know if you have the video of it, but the center, Cam Jurgens.
Oh, well, I was coming up to talk about him. What's funny is I completely forgot about it, and then I looked back. I'm like, wait a minute, they made another pick. I forgot the guy who's gonna take Jason Kelsey.
Yeah, I mean, there's people that were complaining that they took him, and I'm like, well, number one, how long do you people expect Jason Kelsey to play? Like, it's pretty much a done deal that this is going to be his final year. You have to draft a replacement. That is the part of the NFL draft, and this is where I get mad at some fans, and it's not just Eagles fans either. It's all across the board, all fan bases, all sports. Fans, if we're up to fans, they would never get rid of anybody. Your team would suck because you're sticking around with these older guys that you swear can play just because 10 years ago this guy had a great sack. You know, no, it's you have to draft replacements. That's basically what they did with Davis. For Fletcher Cox. I mean, Fletcher Cox and Jason Kelsey are pretty much done after this year as Philadelphia Eagles. One is going to retire. The other one may go on to somewhere else. That's why they got these 1-year deals that are. I think they both got $14 million for 1 year. So I mean,
and listen, we know what Fletcher Cox is. We know he's. It's not that he's lazy, but you feel sometimes he takes plays off. Jason Kelsey doesn't.
Well, also with Fletcher Cox, he still has value and people know he's going to play, so he still has value. So by cutting him and then signing him back to this 1-year deal, it actually, even though it's more money, it makes it easier to move him if the time comes during the season, because they had people that were inquiring about him and they weren't moving him.
All right, Jason Kelsey's 34 years old.
Yeah,
he's not very injury prone. I mean, listen, if you're gonna keep resigning this guy to 1-year deals, and he's gonna be okay with it, keep doing it.
Yeah.
Like, the guy's been consistent. I don't remember him missing games. He gets hurt and then he tapes himself back up, puts his arm back in place, reattaches his finger, and then is like, all right, let's go.
Yeah, I mean,
the guy's
he's a warrior. He's one of those guys, and what they joked around saying that they threw money at him and Sirianni gave him a keg. So it's like,
okay,
all right,
keep it coming.
Keep it coming then if he's going to.
It's probably a keg of Natty Light.
Right, but yeah, but most likely out of the two, he's done after this year, which is fine. And like I said,
I disagree with you. I think he's going to resign another year, but I think he's. But like you said, he has that option. He'll be 35 next year. He's got a kid. I think he might have 2. He wants to make sure he can still walk and play with the kids. Honestly, I don't think he'll leave Philadelphia. I think he'll stay. I feel like a lot of these guys stay in the community. It's not like this kid. He grew up in California. The guy's from Cleveland, Ohio.
Right.
So he gets to 4 seasons. So he's not going to leave just to leave. I don't know where his wife's from, but it's Cleveland, Ohio, and Philadelphia, PA. They got the same weather patterns. Unless he wants to be closer to his mom and dad, which very well could be. But if you had the choice between Cleveland and Philadelphia, I think you're picking Philadelphia to stay and retire. I could be wrong.
No, I think you're totally, you hit the nail on the head with it, because I mean it happens on all the sports teams in Philadelphia. These guys stick around when their playing career is done. They love the area, which some of them I don't understand. Some of them I do understand.
I don't get it. I honestly, we all saw his reactions to when they signed A.J. Brown or traded for him, right?
That's a classic.
You saw how hype he got. We love him. We love him to death. But eventually, Merrill Reese has to retire. I wonder I wonder if he's got a voice for radio to be an Eagles, the color analyst. There's things like this that I don't want him going on like 94 as the talk show guy, unless he does it like once a week. He doesn't need to do that.
well, see, the thing is, it's like to do what we're doing right now, and all right, and you and I aren't professionals, but I heard this today on one of the stations in Philly. To do this job, and I'm going to say job, but to do this job as a sports talk show host, it's less about the knowledge of the sport. It's being entertaining.
Absolutely.
it's more about being entertaining than actually knowledge of whatever sport you're talking about. If it's a show on all sports, or if, like today we do strictly football, he's entertaining. He has that charm, that charisma. He's entertaining, and I could absolutely see him becoming like one of those color analysts, and because guys like John Madden, who was another one that was charming, had charisma, had this great football mind, found another career in football after coaching, and I love it when they have these guys that do that stuff. I love when they have these cats that do that.
No.
No.
We appreciate you, Bill. That's Bill from Driveway Athletes. He'll be on a couple times, hopefully this season, if he grows up.
Yes. So, but yeah, I mean that's what it comes down to. It's just having that it factor when talking. If you can engage with the people, if you can keep it fun and entertaining, you have a long career in sports broadcasting, especially when you're talking for a living. And Kelsey has that ability. He's got that natural God given ability.
No, you're right. Listen, you're 100% right. By the way, did anyone see Bryce Harper kill a family of 4 with his home run to Ashburn Alley today?
Kill a family of 4.
like you're just in there getting a beer and a hot dog, and you're getting hit with a baseball. Not during batting practice either. I'd be mad as shit.
That's the chance you take when you're out there in Ashburn Alley, man.
No, that's not supposed to happen.
Yes, it is. Man. That's why it's a small field.
But yeah. So and then they drafted Cam Jurgens. It's our last. That's who we're going to talk about. We're going to end with the list. Cam Jurgens is a great pick. Like Kelsey evaluated him.
Kelsey, yeah. Like he said, I think he was on. I think it was like he was doing a part of a podcast with Bleacher Report. I think it was, or something.
Inside the Take.
That's it. Inside the Take. And he came right. They asked him about it. And he said, "No." He said, like he's been helping them, like evaluate guys and watch film and give his assessment on guys. And the Cam Jurgens pick was essentially a pick made by the Eagles over his evaluation of him. I loved it. I thought that was great.
He's 6'3" and 300 pounds. That's big for a center.
That is. That's very big for a center.
His grade was 6.11. He's got they said he's a very good backup to develop into a starter.
Yeah.
And what way not to learn then from obviously Jason Kelsey and Jeff Stoutland.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is, and that was dude. The second they made that pick, I went, "Wow, that's a great pick!" Like, and that's what I love about the later rounds in the draft. Like, if you do it right, you find those diamonds in the rough. You find those guys that will be able to contribute sometimes in year one. As coming in as a part-time player, or in this guy's case, I really think that he's going to, in the next year or two, he's going to take over because, and be a cog for that centerpiece of the offensive line. I mean,
I'm curious though, because he was a tight end and a running back and a linebacker in high school. How friggin' big was he if he was 6'3" and 300 pounds in college? Was he 6 foot, like 250? And that's a running back? Yeah, that shit ain't fair. I'm not tackling you.
He was the Kool-Aid guy busting through that line. Oh yeah, so I mean that's what he was. He was that type of guy. He was that big. I mean, you say it's not fair. You know what? You're right. It wasn't fair, but the other team couldn't stop him. So you take it. You love that shit.
Right, and when he made the calls on the front of the line when he was a center. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So what do you give the Eagles draft as an overall grade?
An A. Absolutely an A. And the only reason, and it would I don't know. Do I want to say it would be lower? No. I mean, again, I know what they got the first 3 picks. You got Jordan Davis, you got AJ Brown, and you got Nakobe Dean. And Cam Jurgens. I keep forgetting Cam. So your first 4 picks were, great picks. Like, what else do you want from him? So I give him an A. I'm not going to give him an A minus, an A plus. He's right around, if he could have kept one of those, I don't know, maybe got a second round pick or somewhere. I don't know. And maybe got like another player, maybe move it up to A minus. But having an A for a draft for his terrible drafts in the past, that's hopefully this will make us forget about the JJ Arcega-Whitesides, the Jalen Ragers. Hopefully if Jalen Hurts pans out, we still won't be, in our quarantine going, why the hell did they take a second round pick, waste a second round pick on a guy who was projected to go in the 4th round? Like, we hope that this happens and it makes us forget. Because when you think about it, Howie's great at manipulating the cap. He's great at making teams make trades that shouldn't be made. Like, I still don't know how he does it. Stop answering the phone. Seriously. Like what the hell? And he can get free agents. His drafting has been a little, shaky, but Jordan Mailata, Dallas Goedert, Sidney Jones was a projected 1st round pick that they got in the 3rd round. I don't blame that on him. That guy was just a bust. Rasul Douglas was a projected 2nd round pick that they got in the 3rd round. Sidney, who's the slot corner with the hair? Avonte Maddox, Devontae Smith, and I don't know if I said him. Jordan Mailata was a 6th round or 7th round pick.
And it's funny you bring up Mailata too, because there's a lot of people that are complaining about how they should have gone Hamilton instead of going after Davis because he's only a run stopper, he's not a pass blocker. Jordan Mailata is a goddamn rugby player, and look what happened. This guy's turned into one of the best players at his position in the NFL. So
and for the cheap.
Yes, absolutely for the cheap. So this is where I get annoyed with the fan base. Like, there was people that did not like that they drafted a rugby player, but now he's one of their favorite players because they see that this guy developed and can play.
But it was the 6th round. What the hell is there not to like? Like it was Danny Watkins. It was the 6th round.
Well, that's the other thing. Like that when he hit on a late round pick. And I remember sitting there saying, okay, well, this guy's humongous. Like, I saw that you Google him well, you not Google him, but you look him up on YouTube and you look at him play rugby. He's like a god among men. These guys don't compare to his size, and he's just like bowling them over. I thought, my gosh, this guy's really going to be good in the NFL. Like, he can really do it. And he turned out to be a great pick, a late great value pick, and then like you said, they got him cheap. So but I see a lot of comparisons to Davis just with the fan reaction, and that's where I get a little upset with the fans because I think it's very unfair. Just because they let it sink in their head and get pushed into their head. Oh, they got to get a safety. Got to get a safety. No, we're good. We're incredibly good, especially with that pick and on that D line. Now, another thing that I like to bring up, which because it is part of this draft, it helped, was that 3rd first-round pick that they got in the trade with the Colts. I will not say the player's name. Okay.
Carson Wentz. I'll say it.
Okay. Well, you said it, but I will not. That pick helped set up the trade with New Orleans. I mean, it honestly did. If they did not have 3 first-round picks, I don't think that trade with New Orleans happens to gain a first-round pick in 2023. So, I mean, I look at that as part of this draft also. I mean, there may not have been a player taken with said pick, but that's where I give them a solid A. Without that trade to without gaining that third first round pick and then gaining a second first round pick in next year's draft, I would give the Eagles like a B plus. But because that trade set in motion another trade to gain another first next year's draft, yeah, solid A. Absolutely solid A.
At the end of the day, they got A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith.
Yep. Yeah. Absolutely. So, I mean, God, I can't believe that.
And let's not forget.
Again,
go ahead.
No, go ahead. I was just, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Finish what you were saying.
No, I forget. I totally forget. It's that quick. I lose my train of thought.
And then, if you think about it, the Eagles still have 2 first-round picks next year.
Yeah, just said that. So that's the best part about it.
And it's going to be the Saints, and I don't think the Saints are going to be good. And Lindor just hit a bomb.
And here's the thing. Here's the thing with having those 2 first-round picks next year. I mean, everybody knows why they went and did that. I don't want to hear, so they can pull the same garbage that they did this year or whatever. No, they did that as an insurance policy in case Jalen Hurts does not come around. And if there's no development and he still can't read the defense, because let's face it, you can't develop arm strength. He is what he is at this point in his life. That's what he's got. The arm strength is what he has. He's got to develop the accuracy still. He can work on that, and he's got to be able to read the defense. He can work on that. You can get him 3 AJ Browns. If he does not fix his accuracy and reading the defense, he will never make it in the NFL. So now they gave him that weapon for him to go prove himself, which I'm all in on it now because I want him to be able to throw to A.J. Brown. I want to see like an amazing touchdown run after a catch. But make no mistake about it, this trade with the Saints happened before this trade with the Tennessee Titans, and no one can tell me that they didn't make that trade with the Saints thinking ahead to see for Stroud or Young next year in case Jalen Hurts doesn't pan out. And then people said to me, "Oh, well, why even make that trade then?" Well, you mean for A.J. Brown? Because you now have him for 4 years.
It's a steal.
It was an absolute steal. And if it doesn't work out with Jalen Hurts, the next quarterback coming in has an amazing wide receiver core ready to go. So everything about all the trades and all the moves and how we did in this offseason were home runs in my book. Like, it literally everything fell into his lap for this draft that just passed.
Yeah, I mean, listen, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Miles Sanders catches a lot of balls out of the backfield. Dallas Scott, Boston Scott, when he plays the Giants twice, he looks like the greatest running back of all time.
Yep, exactly.
The weapons are there. This is the make or break year. I don't want to hear people sit there and say about his 5th-year option. He was a 2nd-round pick, so I don't want to hear about it.
Yeah, no, this is it. Like like Jalen Hurts does not have that opportunity or that luxury of having a 5th-year option to be picked up or not picked up. He was a 2nd-round pick. It's a 4-year deal. This is it, man. This is it. And another reason why, okay, yes, they did try and move on from him. They did try and acquire Russell Wilson. But the reason why they're okay with keeping Jalen Hurts is because of his contract. It is so cheap. It is so cheap. And think about this. I have to look it up right now. I'm going to look at it. But you want to talk about cheap contracts and stuff like that. Now, Tennessee Titans just went out and got themselves Malik Willis. Okay? If Malik Willis was a top 10 pick in the NFL draft, he would be making about $30 million. That would be what he would do. How much will he make knowing that he's a 3rd-round pick? $5 million. $5 million. There's a difference of $25 million there from being a top 10 pick to where he got drafted. You want to talk about a great contract for a kid that could eventually become the best quarterback out of this draft. Pickett is the most NFL ready, but Willis has the most upside. That's insane. That's absolutely insane. So kudos to the Tennessee Titans for that draft pick.
You have anything else to add?
No, I'm good, man. I'm absolutely good.
All right. Well, I'm going to end it with a clip from our famous the clip that I played all during the show last week. So give me a couple seconds if I can get it going.
What? What do you want now?
I want my picks back, and I want David Putney. I need a punt returner.
Where the hell that come from?
It doesn't matter. I want all my picks back, and I want David goddamn Putney just because I feel like it.
You're out of your mind.
Yeah, I am. Haven't I proved that already? You make this deal right now, Tom, and you get Bo Callahan. Say it with me. You get Bo. Come on, Tom. Say it with me, you pancake-eating motherfucker.
All right, shit. Deal.
Great. You're welcome. Confirm the trade.